A lot of people in life set goals and almost nobody sets systems. One will give you a quick, short boost of motivation to do something, and the other one will change your life. In this video, I'm going to give you the reason why you don't need goals and you need systems. And ultimately, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the levels of your system. In this video, I'm gonna tell you why. Stay tuned. Goals are about outcomes, but systems are about processes. And ultimately, you want to have a process and not a goal, because a goal is a current event in time, but a system is a small stack of daily events stacked on top, stacked on top, stacked on top, stacked on top. And it's ultimately a compound interest. And I'm going to give you a visual representation or an analogy or just an example, right? So let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. That is a goal. Now the question arises, how are you going to lose 20 pounds? That is where your system comes into play. And the system to lose 20 pounds would be working out 4 times a week and meal prepping. But a lot of people in life, they have goals, but they don't have the systems put in place to back them up. And if you watch this video, you might just think to yourself like, dang, my goal is I'm going to be a millionaire. I want $1 million. But what are you doing to make $1 million? Are you working your 9 to 5, coming home and getting on the game and wasting your life away and still hoping to become a millionaire? Or are you working your 9 to 5, coming home, working on that business, working on your brand, maybe filming YouTube videos like me, working towards getting to a millionaire? That's a system. And that's where the race and the gap between a lot of people start to separate. People who have systems put in place to obtain their goals will always win. But if you just have goals and no systems, you're ultimately shooting yourself in the foot, and it's just a dream at that point, because you're not putting anything in place to obtain that goal. Systems really do create an identity change. And really your goals is focusing on the outcome, but your system is focusing on how you can change as a person to become what your goal is. And I'm gonna break this down and make it easy for you. So let's say you want to write a book. That's the goal. But the system is writing 500 pages a day. And if you focus on that system and work at it each and every day, you become an author and you become a person who can write a book. That's why a system is so important. It changes your identity. And it's a thing that I learned, that basically if you do something for, let's say, 60 days, that becomes a habit. But if you do something for 90 days, that becomes a part of who you are. And this is why systems are so important, because it changes your identity and it changes you into who you want to be. And another thing that goes into systems is you have to have discipline when it comes to systems. Of course, you need the system, but without discipline, the system doesn't matter. And that just ties back into a goal. And it really is like a whole trickle effect. So basically, you need discipline and you need systems and you need goals. And you can't have a goal without not having a system, and you can't have a goal or a system without being disciplined. The last point I want to talk about is how systems give you control, but goals ultimately rely on timing. And the reason I say this is you really have no control on when you quote unquote reach a goal, because you have no control over it. It's nothing you can do to give you a due date or a time to be like, oh, this one I'm going to reach my goal, do my goal. But when it comes to a system, the daily repeated action that you do daily, that gives you control and the satisfaction and faith in knowing that me doing this will help me obtain my goal. It gives you control, and you knowing that basically the system and starting right now is going to get me to where I want to go. And in my notes I have, this literally removes the stress of have I reached my goal yet, because you're just so focused on working, so focused on applying those systems that you're going to reach your goal. And you really can't worry about the win, the WHEN. You have to have comfort in knowing that what you're doing now and the work you're putting in is ultimately going to produce the win, the WIN. I have a quote on my shirt with my brand Trinity Cartel is, I know I'm a win, WHEN, but I just don't know when. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. It's bars, but that's really what I want to say on this whole video. It's a quick little short video, man. This is why you have to have goals. And I'm telling you, you cannot have goals without having a system. You can have a system without having a goal, but you cannot have a goal without having a system. And it all gets tied back together with being disciplined. But if y'all like this video, man, like, comment, subscribe. I'm giving y'all daily videos. I really appreciate you all watching, and I'm gone. Yeah.